What's up, everybody? I'm the Mana Dork. I don't have a catchphrase, but what I do have is another standard 8 rare deck for you. And today I started with Bloodghast, who got reprinted in Aether Drift. Black for 2/1 Vampire Spirit. Can't block. Has haste if the opponent has 10 or less life. And a landfall trigger that returns him from the graveyard to the battlefield. So I figure let's pull him out, dust him off, and throw him into a Rakdos Sacrifice sort of shell. So for creatures, in addition to the Bloodghast, we've got 4 Forsaken Miners, who acts as a backup Bloodghast, somebody else that can come back out of the graveyard. Got 2 Spiteful Hexmage, because this is going to give us 2 permanents, the Hexmage himself and the Cursed Roll that gets attached to him. So we can have the Cursed Roll to sacrifice and still have the 3/2 body left over for only 1 mana. 3 Zoyowa Lava-Tongue. 2/2 with Death Touch for black and red. And it gives us a descend trigger that the opponent either discards, sacrifices, or loses 3 life. And so since we're going to be sacrificing our own stuff, we're going to get that trigger fairly often. 2 copies of Braids, Arisen Nightmare, so we can sack whatever we want to try to penalize the opponent. 3 Sawblade Skinripper. 3/2 with Menace for 3 mana. We can sacrifice things to put a +1/+1 counter on it. And at the beginning of the end step, if we sacrificed 1 or more permanents, it's going to deal that much damage to any target. So as we're doing our sacrifice thing, this is going to give us a chance to either chip in a little extra damage or deal with small creatures. Now for the spells, because we need to be able to sacrifice all this stuff. 2 Corrupted Conviction, a split of 2 Eaten Alive, and 2 Final Vengeance. 4 Hopeless Nightmare, 2 Momentum Breaker, 3 Nowhere to Run, and 4 Disturbing Mirth. So we've got a whole bunch of either removal spells that let us sacrifice something, or enchantments that will give us some sort of incremental advantage, and then be a permanent that we can sack later on for whatever other sacrifice effect. Fueling it all, we've got 14 Swamp, 4 Mountain, 3 Jagged Barrens, and 2 Razortrap Gorge. I had originally started with 4 Jagged Barrens, but was having a few too many come into play tapped lands in my opening hands. So I figured we'd go up onto the Razortrap and do a split. So we've got something that comes in untapped on occasion, but we still have access to the Jagged Barrens to get that extra point in, either for just because it's a point, or for 2, or for 2. Or for upping our max speed from the Momentum Breaker, or getting back the Forsaken Miner. But that's the deck. I'm going to go find an opponent. That'll give you a chance to find the likes and subscribe. And I'll see you over there. Alright. 1 land and we will probably be good. Look at that, 1 land. We got our thing. Santa listened. Start off with the Hexmage. I got the FOMO. What are they going to pitch? Oh, they're putting an Atraxa in the bin. No attacks. Second enchantment. Down goes FOMO, but it already did its job. they're stuck on lands. So, let's get in. Start sacking lands and see if we can keep them away from the 4 mana point where they could. I'm assuming they're trying to reanimate the Atraxa. So split skin doll. Sure thing. Valgavoth in the bin, and there's the extra land. Let's get them to sacrifice. Sacrifice this thing. Is going to let us come over for 10, and then Sawblade's going to do that last point. And they give us the good game. We'll give them one back. And there we go. See how this runs. They got a swamp, we got a swamp. Keep on top. Get in for 1. Point off of that. Play the other miner. More grotto action. Keep it on top. Scrap Gorger. Sure. So 1 will get through. But now we have to be careful about things because they can Scrap Gorger things out of our graveyard. So we'll just drop Sawblade Sandy over here and see what she can do. Ellis. All right. Sack a creature. We'll do this while the Scrap Gorger is tapped. Drop that land. Another point. Narset. What do you do, Narset? What kind of nonsense are you, Narset? I think it doesn't matter because they're at 8, and we can just haste over with the power of Bloodghast. This looks keepable. Simulacrum already. That's not going to be good for us. Elf out of here. See if that helps anything. crazy. So, Lava-Tongue. Make him discard. You tell them, Prince. They're going to have to discard. Get the Simulacrum out of here. Put both of those downstairs. Come over for 3. Tap the swamp. Get an extra card. Hit him with the Zoyowa and his tongue made of lava. I'm going to doppelganger one synthesizer. Is that the right answer? No, we'll attack with just Braids. I'm going to double block. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but... we get one of them out of here at least. And we get our Descend trigger. Do we not have a Descend trigger? Oh no, they discarded the Season of Weaving. Ate their heart up their guy. And we'll be taking 7. I'm not seeing a way out of here for us. Well, they got us. Turn 2 synthesizer is a little difficult. Alright, we'll try this. It's not as aggressive as I'd like to see out of this deck, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Hexmage. Impact Tremors. Get him for 1. Skinripper. Eat that aura. Everybody gets big. And come over for 7. And 1 to grow on. An opponent has nothing to interfere with us. Oh, we can try this. That was the Nightmare. Get a little information out of what they're playing. As soon as they pick. It's a chainsaw. Not one of the first 30 cards I would have expected. here. Goblin. All right. So let's get in for 2. Get a Braids. Sacrifice the Mirth. Manifest Mountain. And on to the opponent's turn. They were looking at that treasure like they had a burn spell. So what are we doing that we've got both goblins and Fomori vaults? That is the question. Takes 2 to activate that. Torch our Braids. Send both of those. The double block, which means we get in for 2. Counter there. Nope, I didn't misread it, and it doesn't say gnome instead of goblin. It says goblin. So I'm wondering what they're up to. Oh, they're up to Duretti things. Mirth. Sack that enchantment. Get some cards. Come over for 5. Alright, let's torch our guy and we'll let that happen. Braids. Sack the Mirth. Manifest the Mirth. And my dog is snoring. That's a Duretti. That's a chainsaw. Ready, and opponent picks it up. And that's the deck. Reasonably happy with it. We wound up with a 7-5 record recording for this video. We were hampered a little bit by the lands, having the come into play tapped lands. So I'm not sure if the answer is to cut the red or to just learn to live with it. But in any case, I had fun. The deck ran fairly well. And my Bloodghast feels loved again because he hasn't been played in quite a while. So if you're still here, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out and watch me play some games. Feel free to leave a comment if you like what you saw or if there's anything you'd like to see me do differently. Don't forget to like the subscribe and button the smash or whatever it is you do to show that you appreciate the video. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.